It felt like forever ago, but Northwestern basketball was back in action Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, rather, and against Prairie View A&M. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Northwestern, your daily podcast on the Northwestern Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in. This is Locked On Northwestern, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Carter Bird, and thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today for anything and everything Northwestern. We really appreciate it. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can find us. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Wherever you are listening, make sure you are subscribed and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. Leave a comment. Give us some feedback. We're trying to make the show better at all times. Also, today's show is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right, let's jump into this thing because it feels like it's been forever since we've seen Northwestern basketball out on the court, and they matched up with Prairie View A&M in this one. Northwestern came in at 6-2. Some teams, have played a lot more games than that. It feels like almost, but 6-2 going into Sunday. They're a very good defensive team. That was how they kind of like made their hay. That's how they're calling card. Let's put it that way. As a team, they were allowing 57.5 points per game coming into this one. That's including the outburst from Pitt that we saw where they went berserk from three, went crazy, and lit Northwestern up in that one. They have wins over Georgetown on the road and Liberty in Cancun, as well as a huge road win at Michigan State. At the time, Michigan State was ranked 20th in the country, and they went on the road and got a 70-63 victory in that one. They have a close loss to a top 25 Auburn team, now sitting at 19, I do believe, 43-42, in what was a very hard-fought game. Neither team could make any shots. It was really it was a brick fight. It was a rock fight. If there's a definition of a rock fight in a dictionary somewhere, there's a picture of that game. They also have a bad home loss to Pitt, 87-58. And that game was an example of somebody else gets crazy hot from three. Somebody who's not a good three-point shooting team goes nuts. That can happen to you, especially when Northwestern's offensive woes kind of continued to hang around all year long. They don't shoot the two well. They don't shoot the two very well at all, actually. But they when they shoot poorly from three, that's when they run into trouble because of how poorly they shoot the 2 point. They shoot inside the arc. There were 7 days in between their last game. They had played the previous Sunday against Michigan State. So that was something that I know I had my eye on coming into this one. The team's kind of driven by Boo Buie, Chase Audige, with Ty Berry and Robbie Beran kind of being sparks when they need them in certain places. Coming into the game, they were scoring 64.875 points per game. So about 7.375 points above that what they were allowing opponents to score, and that's how they came into this one with that 6-2 record. Prairie View A&M 4-4 coming in, had lost 2 in a row, and 4 out of their last 5. The 2 in a row they lost to Rice and Oklahoma State, and then the other 3 losses in that 4 out of 5. UTSA and Tennessee Martin kind of rounding out those 4 losses, which were their only 4 losses coming into this one. They had a 1-point loss to UT Martin that was really easily could have gone the other way. They do have wins over Washington State and Arkansas State. They were scoring 74.375 points per game coming in. So about not quite 10 points better than Northwestern, but close. They were allowing 71.875 points per game coming in, over 15 points, over 14 points more rather than Northwestern coming into this one. Their team is carried by Will Douglas and Jeremiah Gambrell, as well as Yahuza Rosas. He crashes the boards well for them and led the way coming into this game. Unbelievably, they somehow didn't play a game for 11 days, which feels extreme. They played on November 30th, and then their next game was this December 11th scrap with Northwestern. They're projected 4th in the SWAC. Jeremiah Gambrell was picked preseason All-SWAC second team. And yeah, I mean, that's who this team was coming in. They're a team that I believe the line was 17 in Northwestern's favor, but it was a team that could be dangerous. And you're going to see here when we kind of talk out the game and what all happened, how that happened, really. What was key for them to be as dangerous as they were. But first, let's talk about our friends at LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Just add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Also, we want to thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, let's talk about this game because Northwestern jumped out to an 11-5 lead, and you thought, okay, this team is going to handle their business. Well, this team has an issue right now. This team goes crazy cold for long stretches of time. Long stretches of time. They go on a 5-minute, 8-second scoring drought. And over that period of time, Prairie View A&M, they go on a 7-0 run. They take the lead back 12-11. Then Northwestern climbs back on top 17-13. But then comes another scoring drought. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Prairie View A&M, on the other hand, 11-0 run. So now they're up 24-17. They end up closing out the half up 29-24. And look, Northwestern was 6 of 32 in the first half on field goals, just 18.8%, 4 of 18 from 3, just 22.2%. Prairie View A&M shot well enough. Didn't have to shoot like crazy well. I think they shot in the 30s. Nothing crazy by any metric. But they out-rebounded Northwestern by 2, 26-24. They grabbed 10 offensive boards in the first half. They had a 13-1 bench point edge over Northwestern. Now, Northwestern had an 8-2 second chance points edge over Prairie View A&M. But really, I mean, you had Robbie Beran kind of keep Northwestern in the game. I think he had 13 in the first half, if I do recall correctly. Second half, you open up with a quick Robbie Beran 3, and Northwestern kind of settled in after that point. You cut the lead to 2 there. A Chase Audish 3 with 7:03 left put Northwestern up 49-47, and it was a lead they would not surrender again. Northwestern, actually, from that point on, I think Northwestern finishes the game on a 12-4 run. Northwestern's defense really turned up a notch. Prairie View A&M in the second half was 8 for 31 from the field, just 25.8%, 3 for 13 from 3, 23%. Northwestern forced 9 turnovers to just 4 of their own in the second half. Also, the defense went and got 5 blocks in just the second half alone. Thought that was an impressive number for this Northwestern squad. Both teams shot poorly for the game. Prairie View A&M shot 29% to Northwestern's 30%. Prairie View A&M had 16 turnovers to Northwestern's 9. That's a key point. 7 more turnovers. Northwestern had 15 assists, which I thought was a strong number for this game. But the reality of this game is this game was won at the free throw line. This game was 100% won at the free throw line. And it's ironic that I say 100% because one of these teams was okay from the free throw line percentage-wise. The other was really bad. And that's the story of the game. Prairie View A&M shot 15 free throws to Northwestern's 23, which is not exactly like a disparity you can't overcome. But when Prairie View A&M goes 7 of 15 for just 47% from the line, and Northwestern goes 17 of 23 for 74% from the line, that's how you find that's your 10-point difference right there. Prairie View A&M had 7 free throws. Northwestern had 17. And Northwestern goes on to win the game 61-51. There you have it. That's your difference in the game. In just a second, we're going to take a look, I guess, at individual standouts of the game and kind of what comes next for Northwestern. But first, let's talk about our friends from Simply Safe. At Locked On Northwestern, we believe home should be where you and your family feel the safest, especially over the holidays. This season, give yourself and your family the gift of peace and protection with the #1 rated home security system, Simply Safe. And right now, Simply Safe is offering Locked On Northwestern listeners 40% off a new security system. But don't put this off. Simply Safe was named the best home security system of 2022 by U.S. News and World Report a 3rd year in a row. In an emergency 24/7 professional monitoring agents use Fast Protect technology exclusively from Simply Safe to capture critical evidence and verify the threat is real so you can get higher priority police response. Simply Safe is whole home security with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door. HD security cameras for inside and outside your home. Smarter ways to detect motion that alert you only when a threat is real. And even hazard sensors that detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. 24/7 professional monitoring service costs under $1 a day and less than half the price of traditional home security systems. With with the top-rated Simply Safe app, stay in complete control of your system, arm or disarm, unlock for a guest, access your cameras, or adjust system settings anytime, anywhere. Don't miss your chance to save big on my favorite security system. Get 40% off any new system at simplysafe.com/lockedoncollege today. That's simplysafe.com/lockedoncollege. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Also, thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen. For your next listen, check out the Locked On Sports Today podcast. The biggest stories of the day, plus instant reactions, big game recaps, and the take of the day. Available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. All right, let's talk some individual performers of this game. We're going to start with the two that stuck out to me for Prairie View A&M. Jeremiah Gambrell, the guy that we talked about, who is the second team preseason all-SWAC team. 16 points, 4 rebounds. This was a key one, though. 6 turnovers by himself. Was just 6 of 22 from the field, 4 of 15 from 3, and 0 of 1 at the line. He posted a minus 12 on the plus-minus in this game. Also, you had Hegel Augustine. He had 10 points, 12 boards, 2 assists, and 1 block. He was the other standout for this team. The only 2 players in double digits. When you look at Northwestern, it all starts and finishes with Robbie Beran, the absolute player of the game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 20 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, +9 in the plus-minus, played 37 of the 40 minutes of the game, 6-4-11 from the field, 54.5%, 4 of 9 from 3, 44.4%, and 4 of 4 at the line. Just an outstanding performance, an efficient performance. Then he showed even his presence on the glass, grabbing 12 boards, and even on the defensive end, getting 3 blocks. Next up, Boo Buie, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, which is a daggum strong game for him. 1 steal, +10 in the plus-minus, 38 minutes played of the 40 minutes. Just 4 of 15 from the field and 2 of 7 from 3, 2 of 3 at the line for 66.7%. Next up, Chase Audige, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks, and 3 steals, +15 in the plus-minus. 30 minutes played in this game. Just 4 of 14 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3, 2 of 2 at the line. Next up, the big fella, Matt Nicholson, 9 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, +14 in the plus-minus in 21 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field, 5 of 6 at the free throw line. Ty Berry, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, +16 in the plus-minus in 28 minutes, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, and 2 of 2 at the line. Julian Roper and Brooks Barnheiser did not play well. They combined for 1 point, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and were -7 and -17 in the plus-minus, respectively. The 2 worst, I believe, on the team in this one. Boo Buie and Chase Audige were very inefficient in this game, as you see. 8 of 29, 27.6% from the field, 3 of 13 from 3, 23.1% from deep, but they did go 4 or 5 at the line, knocked down 80% of their free throws. Chase Audige's defense is awesome with 4 blocks and 3 steals. That is correct. He was not the most efficient shooter in the game, but he made his presence felt on the defensive end, and that's what you have to appreciate. Boo Buie did as well with his 7 assists. Like, if you're not going to shoot well, make your presence felt somewhere else, and both of those guys did just that. Northwestern improves to 7-2, up to number 63 in the KenPom, number 73 in the net rankings, and number 60 in the RPI. Next up, they get DePaul on Saturday as they wrapped this one up against Prairie View A&M 61-51 in what was a pretty big win, or a good win to just check off the box, because you need to, in these kind of weaker non-con games, you don't need to slip up. We've seen plenty of teams do it this year. I mean, heck, Louisville might never win a basketball game ever again at this point. But yeah, to get this win, I think that was key, especially with the way that Prairie View kind of jumped on them and made life difficult and gave them a little bit of a scare, finding a way to battle through the adversity, to win the game, to win an ugly one. And it really didn't look all that ugly at the end, because, I mean, you held the lead for the last 7 minutes of the game. Could have been a lot scarier for sure, but I thought this team showed a lot of poise in the second half to come back the way that they did and really control the game in the second half and take home a win. They'll be back in action against DePaul in a week on Saturday, actually. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for today's episode. Appreciate you tuning in to Locked On Northwestern, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Carter Bird. Thank you for making us your first listen for anything and everything Northwestern. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can find us. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Leave us a comment, leave us some feedback. Make sure wherever you're listening, you're subscribed, turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode. The rest of this week, we're going to have to talk some football recruiting, transfer portal stuff, because it is crunch time for all that stuff. And so that's going to be an interesting topic, to say the least. We're going to talk about the blow to the Northwestern recruiting class they suffered today. That's going to be the plan for the week. Appreciate you tuning in. You can follow me on social media at CarterBird13. I'll see you all next time.